Today I have put two enclosures here on the bench. I get a lot of common questions. I've answered, I did a previous video on the CDM and troubleshooting that. You'll have to see the website for that update. But today I was going to work on another common question that I get with how to disconnect the amplifiers from the vehicle. Now I have here on the left a Bose enclosure out of a 90 to 96 Corvette. Connectors and so on for the Corvette and the Cadillac will be similar if you have Cadillac questions. And the enclosure here on the right is an enclosure out of an 89 and older. Now these are both Bose enclosures, but they do have different connectors, and sometimes I see the connectors come into the shop all taken apart and trying to get it figured out how it comes apart. So I thought I would show you that to make that easier for you when you come to remove this, so you can tell me how much easier it was. I'm going to start with the front enclosures, and I find usually it's easier to see when you have the enclosures and the connectors apart to show you how they go together and then what we're looking for. Now these connectors are all keyed, which means they only fit one specific way. This is the connector that comes out of the enclosure. This is the one that will be in the vehicle. Now we have a tab at the top of this connector that will need to be lifted, because at the top of this, or one side of this connector as well, we have a little notch at the very top of it here. And we're going to, this connector, like I say, will only go one way because it's keyed. There's no mixing it up until you get to the right spot, and then it snaps right into place. Now when you're taking the door panel off, if you've seen the removal guides on the front door panels for this car, this is a fun one. I would also watch out for this white tar when you get this done. Make sure that this white tape doesn't touch anything else in the vehicle, because it'll be everywhere. Don't touch it yourself. But to release this connector, you're going to be reaching up and wondering where this is. You'll probably see it through the opening of the where the speaker was coming through the door. And you can reach up the top, push this connector off, it pretty much releases, and then you can wiggle the enclosure out of the door panel. Now when you send these for repair, you can, this year Bose amplifier being sent for repair, this is a hardwired amplifier. You can send these enclosures, but I do see the tabs get dinged up in shipping. Package it well. The post office does not like boxes over 12 inches. This could be an oversized box. But you can remove this and disconnect the amplifier and send the amplifier with its metal cover. Now we have the 90 to 96. I think this is the one I get most of the calls on, with the connector being spread and so on, and how to remove this connector. So I'll try and go through putting it together again is always easier to help you take it apart. Now what we have here on the connector from the enclosure is we have this connector with a notch cut in the side on one side and a notch in the other. Now this notch is not in the center of the connector. It is a little bit towards one side. Now again, these connectors are keyed. This one also has a notch on it. It cannot go any other way into this connector but one way. Now as it slides in, we have, as on the front connector, it's missing on this connector because this is my bench connector, but there should be a notch right here on the edge of this connector. This notch comes in and fits into this slot, so that when we slide the notches in on the side of the connector that is furthest from these, this top side, since it's furthest from where the notch is, there is a little black tab here with that notch. And we're going to take our flathead screwdriver and gently pry this up so it clears the notch. This little tab in here. There you can see, maybe it lifts up a little bit, and this will allow that little latch to release and remove the connector. Now for shipping these front enclosures, on the 90 had a hardwired amplifier. The 91 to 96 had a connector amplifier. The connector amplifier is very simple. They both start removal. This is the same process. Remove the 4 screws from the cover. The cover will come up and the amplifier will be right there. on the 91 to 96, when you pull it up, you'll see this white connector that attaches to the circuit board, and you'll just take this white connector and pull it directly off the circuit board, and it will release. You can send the cover and the amplifier for repair. However, on the 90, this is a hardwired amplifier. So in that case, you have to remove the larger speaker and disconnect it. When you remove this cover up, it will not have the when you remove this cover up, it will not have this connector on it. So once you pull it up, you remove the two connectors from the tweeter that sits here, and then you pull the wire cable through. This goes the same for the rears, sending just the rears. These front enclosures tend to get beat up in shipping, and hard to replace nowadays. These up front enclosures also, when you're removing them, have this black tar that secures them to the door sill. And this stuff, do not touch it. Do not set this down in the car. This will be on the carpet. This will be on your shirt. This will be on your fingers. It will be everywhere. So be very careful of touching this tar from going other places and migrating to other spots. This is how you remove the connectors. If you have other questions about Corvette, see our website. We do have some troubleshooting videos there, along with removal and repair quotes. Hope this video has been helpful. Please subscribe, and thank you for watching.